Okay, today we're gonna talk about 10 useful tips that I use to help me with my editing and make things much easier, and I think it will be useful for you too. So let's start with tip number 1. Shift S. You hold shift and you press S. This pretty much will snap the bar to the point where you wanted it. Like for example, say you cut here. Okay, you have this large gap here, right? Because you pretty much cut to the spot where you wanted it. You know, instead of having to drag your video over, it's very helpful to just snap it over. Like for example, you want your video to be right here, so all you have to do is just click onto the video or the bar, hold shift, press S. See, you can do that to the audio as well. Notice how easy it just precisely snap to the spot where you want it, instead of having to move, you know, try to get exactly at that one spot. You know, if that's not the one spot, you want to like move here until you precisely, you know, line up with your audio. So instead of having doing the dragging, you know, you could just snap it over. That's a really cool function to have, because sometimes your video might be like all the way over here, okay, all the way over here, and you don't want to drag. See, just press, hold shift, press S, snap there, just like that. Okay, now tip number 2, page up and page down. This is really good for, see, you can really see it already. I don't really have to tell you. This is really good for skipping to the end of the bar or the beginning of the bar or the next one over. You know, you don't have to go and try to find the first frame of the bar. This is very precise. Just press up, down on your keyboard. Page up, page down. It's in the middle of your keyboard. You can find it next to the delete button, the end button, or the arrow key. It's right in the middle. So you, by pressing this, you notice you can just skip to the front and the end. Very useful to have. I always use this throughout my whole video. Okay, tip number 3, the cutting. Okay, there's 2 types of cutting. Alright, one cutting is when you cut, which I just did right here. And when you cut and when you extend it, you get back the video that you cut off. Alright, but sometimes you want to cut here, but you don't have enough frame to transition over, so you can actually freeze this image right here. So what I mean by that is, a regular cut would be a K, but a hard cut would be shift, hold shift and press K. What this would do is, you notice how this is blank, right? That will pretty much, this image right here will be the same throughout the whole thing. It won't change, and it's good for freezing. You do effect, or it's also good for transition. Like you need more frame to transition over. This transition, you need a few frames to transition over, and rather you have a really short frame like this, and then we just go, dude, you don't even notice it, you know. Yeah, so shift K and K for cutting is you know, freezing and everything is really useful. You're gonna need it. Okay, so tip number 4, Control Z. Alright, whenever like always in Paint or Word or you made a mistake and you want to undo that input, your last input. So Control Z can do just that. Notice how I'm pressing Control Z right now. It undo what I just did on the last. For example, I delete it. Oh, I made a mistake, so I want that back. Control Z. Come back. Okay, great. You know, very useful to have when you make a mistake. You know, you could always go back and start all over again. Well, another better way is always save your work. You know, you never know, you might hit a bug or you made a huge mistake. It's always better to just save your work. Okay, tip number 5. Your audio. Draw waveform. This button right here. Draw waveform. Click on that and you notice how it draw out the audio. This is really good if I want to do subtitle, because you know sometimes when I press play, the frame rate is not, it drops. You know, it don't always you know, the scroll won't always scroll to the way I want it. So in order to really precisely know where, I just pretty much use this as a you know, a mark where, you know, where like for example this part could say screw you right here, so at least I know from here to here I can add a subtitle and put screw you here. Or sometimes when I want to do effect, I want to know where all the beat is at. You know, right here could be boom, and then right here could be snare. You know, and so it's really good to make video effect with that also. But I need to know where to begin and where to start. So draw waveform would definitely be useful to give you an idea, you know, where to start, where to end. Okay, tip number 6. So like I was saying earlier, when I press play, you notice how there was the red, you know, the wave. You see red? It don't always play in real time. So this button right here, refresh sequencer. The reason why it's red, because it's still, the Blender is still loading everything. You know, they try to keep up with everything. So when you press this button, let's just say start from here. When you press this button, you want Blender to stop everything. I want you to start loading from here and up, you know, so that way when you press play, it'll be smoother. You know, the frame rate won't drop as much, and you can pretty much get an idea of like how your video gonna be in real time. Alright, tip number 7. Okay, let me load up an image. This happens all the time. So say you load up an image, it get blown up like this. Obviously this is not the right resolution. You know, whenever you load a picture, it get blown up. Blender trying to do the screen. So what you do is click onto the image that you load up, which is this one right here, and you go image offset. What this does, now you have the right resolution. And not only that you have the right resolution, you could also move your picture around. You know, say you want to put a picture over, yeah, up over. Make sure y'all. But anyway, yeah, image offset is you'll be using this a lot, because you know, obviously you can tell the image is not the right resolution. So yeah, that would be tip number 10. Alright, tip number 8 will be effect strip color. This, you're gonna need this quite a lot also, you know. This is very cool effect shift to have. I use it to create letter bar, fade in and fade out. So what I mean by that is like, for example, letter bar. Okay. Click on image offset. Alright, and then just move it up here, up or over. See? Now you have this bar up here. Now let's duplicate that. Shift D, and then do the same for down here. Alright, you see? You don't have to go paint and create one yourself and then save it and then load the image onto the screen. See, Blender already have one for you, which is color. Alright, you don't have to do it out there. You can just do it in here. Of course, you can change the color as well. It's not just black. You could change it to blue, red, whatever you want. It's very useful for fading in. Also, for example, click on this, shift, click on that, add effect strip, grab across there. Now you have a fade in with a red color. Very useful. You could fade out too, same thing. Let's just add another one. Well, let's just duplicate this one. Okay. Say you want to fade out. You click on the one. You go. It's always from here, left to right. Alright. So which one you want to go first? So this go first. So you click on this first, and then you hold shift, and you click on this second. So you want from here to here. So when I want to fade in, I want to go from here to here. So when I want to fade out, I want to go from here, shift, here, and then grab across. Now, there you go. You see that? Fade in, fade out. You could do letter bar. So this color effect strip is very, very useful. You'll be using this a lot too. So make sure you use this. Okay. Okay. Now tip number 9. So slow motion and for slow motion. Okay. Alright. Whenever you want to do slow motion, it's always good to record your video at least 60 frames per second, 60 frames or higher. Otherwise, when you do a slow motion, you get this skip. Alright, and of course, to do slow motion is very simple. Just click onto the bar, add, go to speed control. Okay, make sure you hide this one. And speed control, you go over here, click on this. Make sure this is checked. Make sure this is 1. What this means is, this is the base 1. Okay, multiply speed. So to slow your video, you can go 0.5. That means half the speed. That's what I mean. You could speed it up by putting 2. Will be 2 times the speed. That's what I mean. 1 is just the base. Make sure this is also 1. Okay, this is just the base. Well, I like half the speed for slow motion, but when I want to speed up, I prefer 15. Sometimes, if I really want it real slow, I prefer 0.10 maybe, but majority time 0.5 is pretty good, And what else? Let's just say well, anyway, this is where you control your speed, okay? But if you want motion blur, you should record at 24 frames per second motion blur, meaning like when you go like this, you can still see the blur of the movement. But if you go 60 frames per second or higher, When you go like this, it's almost like you warping, you know, like it's just it don't look natural. That's why a lot of people prefer 24 frames per second, you know. And for zooming, okay, let's go to zooming. For zooming in and out, I suggest you to record at 4K, you know, because when you zoom in, zoom out, sometimes you'll see all this blown up noise, you know. You don't want that. That's why 4K is really good for you know, when you station in the area, you won't lose that quality when you zoom in. You know, sometimes you want to do narrative, or you just want to zoom in, zoom out, you know, but you don't want to see all this noise. You know, it's good to record in 4K. It's the must thing to have. Okay, so yeah, to slow-mo and everything, you could use speed control like I just showed you right here. Speed control, and make sure you hide that, and then you could control right here. Alright, and you have to understand that when you slow down and speed up, you know, you gotta make sure you get the frame correctly. Like for example, when you slow down, you notice that the frame sketch over. Okay, it's stretch over. Watch, I'll go back to 1. No, you see, it was right here earlier. It stretched it over. You gotta make sure of that, because when you slow down, make sure you extend it enough frame. Otherwise, you know, your video get cut. Okay, so when you speed up, your frame gets shorter. You see, you notice? It was right here earlier. Now it got shortened. So you gotta make sure you crop it down. Otherwise, you know, yeah, you will have a misplaced video. Okay, so that's one of the things you gotta know when you use speed control. Yeah. Alright, the last tip of the day. So some people like to record the video with the cell phone. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, a video is a video, but a cell phone is not like a regular camcorder. You know, it doesn't automatically, you know, full frame for you, because, well, what worse can happen when you record with your cell phone, right? Well, obviously, one of the things that can happen is the full frame. Okay, the full frame, because it make a big difference whether you record your phone horizontally or vertically. You know, vertically meaning up and down, horizontally meaning like left and right. Like you have your phone, you know, in a rectangle shape instead of vertical, which is up and down. You know, the reason for that is that when you record horizontally, you'll get this full frame. Okay, you know how some people have video and they have like 2 sidebar right here, all black out, and then the video is just like rectangle like this. You know, it's kind of like it doesn't fill up the whole frame. That's what happened, because that's what happened when you record your video vertically. So you make sure you always record your video horizontally, so that way you get a full resolution, rather than, you know, you get cut halfway, you know, and then you have like 2 ugly sides. You know, what I mean by 2 ugly sides, for example, this is not it, but I just want to show you what I mean. 2 ugly sides. Let's see. Oops. Where are you? What did I do? Okay, here it is. Alright. It looks similar like this. See, you have this two. This is not the actual video. I'm just showing you an example what I mean by vertical. When you record vertical, this is what will happen. You know, when you load your video in, you will have this two black outside, which is not full screen. You know, but when you record horizontally, of course, like I said, you will get full screen, which is just what I mean by full screen. Full screen. Okay, so make sure you record horizontally. Okay, alright, I guess that's about it. So make sure you like and subscribe, and I see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.